Hello, Brigadiers and Brigadettes and hockey fans alike. This is your captain speaking. Welcome to my channel. Now let's jump into some hockey content. Hello everyone, we're going to be kicking off the series again today. We're going to be talking about the Philadelphia Flyers. I just wanted to say that I'm actually pre-recording a lot of these videos. I'm going to be visiting family soon, and I don't really get to see them that often, maybe 3-4 times a year at most. So I just wanted to let you know that these are pre-recorded. This is being filmed on the 29th, so it's coming out on the 31st. So a lot of these videos for the next probably 4 or 5 are going to be pre-recorded. I'll let you know the date that they were pre-recorded, so if the information is old, then obviously you'll know that wasn't an issue on my part. So anyway, with that being said, let's just move on into the first question. And the first question is, can the Philadelphia Flyers win a cup? The Flyers have an agonizing playoff history that involves a lot of failure and a lot of pain. And really, it's been over the past 40-ish years, and at times it's just been really brutal. It seems like they just keep getting stuck against these teams that are top tier. So they've lost in the Stanley Cup Finals in 1976. They got swept by Montreal in a hard-fought series. That was the first of what would be 4 straight Stanley Cup victories for the Montreal Canadiens. They were just killer to end that decade. Then in 1980, they lost to the Islanders when they were getting their dynasty going. Philly was favored in that series, and actually the Islanders looked like a team that was talented, that wasn't going to be living up to the expectations, but they ended up winning their first of 4 cups, I believe, that 1980 season, because then they won 82, or 81, 82, 83 as well. Then in 1985, they played the Edmonton Oilers, which really is just a machine back then. They lost 4-1 against Edmonton. They lost 8-3 in Game 5. That really hurts. I believe they put their backup in that game, just because they were really struggling that series to try to win. And then in 1987, they lost a heartbreaker, just absolutely heartbreaker, 4-3 in 7 games against Edmonton. They came back from 3-1, a 3-1 deficit, only to lose 3-1 in Game 7. Terrible. Then in 1997, they got swept by Detroit. As you know, the Detroit Dead Things ended their cup drought. Very, very hard to see if you're a Flyers fan. And then in 2010, they lost 4-2 against the Chicago Blackhawks as they ended their long championship drought in OT. That was a fun series. That was where we didn't know where the puck was for Kane. I thought it was a really fun series the whole time, though. As a kid, I remember watching that series a lot for some reason. That was really exciting hockey. But as you can see, that being a Flyer fan just has to stink, because they put some impressive teams together, but they always just lose to teams that are, ready to start their dynasty. I do view them as a contender, but I could worry that they could run into 2 teams that could be starting their own dynasties. The first is Colorado, and the second is Vegas, and those 2 teams could be future issues for Philadelphia, and they legitimately could be teams that keep the cup away from Philly that are, your future Montreals, New Yorks, Edmontons, maybe to not that extent, but, something like the Hawks potentially. It seems just like Philly can't catch a break when it comes to this. They always face the teams that are there. They're ready to go to just, keep going. More than anything, I'll be interested to see if they can beat the Lightning in the conference finals if they meet up this year. This year would be the year to win the East, though, because the Lightning don't have Kucherov for the whole season. So that would be a good time to take advantage of it. While it won't be easy to do, I do think that they are a contender in my eyes, as long as everybody's healthy. This year, like I said, would be their best chance. I do think Colorado and Vegas would pose a serious threat to them, but there's nothing that hot goaltending can't fix. Now, the second question is going to be, who will be the team's X factor? The major if for this is going to be if Nolan Patrick can play. Then, I do think he will be the team's X factor. Patrick was selected 2nd overall in the 2017 draft behind Nico Hischier and Miro Heiskanen. However, things haven't really gone to plan, especially last year. For starters, Nolan wasn't lighting the world on fire when he played in his first 2 seasons, and then he also missed all of last year with a migraine disorder. I do understand where he's coming from for this. I get migraines, headaches a lot. Not migraines as much as I do headaches, but I actually had to go to a doctor when I was a kid for a lot of migraine and headache issues. So I do get how it can really be crippling. Some days I just want to lay in bed and then, with the lights off and try not to vomit. So I do get where Nolan's coming from in that regard, and I'm sure he has it worse than me because it's a legitimate, thing where it's almost always migraines. Hopefully for Nolan's sake, he can get better and receive that special care he needs in order to heal. I'm not exactly a doctor by any means, and I don't even know what they would do to treat that. I know there are some like things they can do, like they do injections and stuff like that to try to help out with it. Because really, I do think that if the Flyers want to be a contender, they're going to need Nolan, especially if they want to be a contender for the next few years. Luckily, Nolan would probably slot in as the third line center behind Sean Couturier and Kevin Hayes, so I think that'd be huge for him not to have that pressure of being a top line center, the 2017 second round draft pick playing in Philly. I think this would allow him to get a feel for his game back, and it would be just huge because really, again, no pressure, you just do what you do. In his past 2 seasons he's played, he's had 26 goals, 35 assists, 61 points in 145 games played, 0.42 points per game. I think he could provide some scoring on the third line and try to figure out his defensive game as he gets back to consistently playing hockey. Maybe, just maybe, provide 40 to 50 points in a season. I do know that's asking a lot of him, but he's a second overall pick, and regardless, I do think, from what I've seen, he has the talent to provide 40 to 50 points, and he could be the X factor absolutely for the Philadelphia Flyers being able to hoist the cup or not this season and in the future long term. Now, the third question is the goaltending good enough? I can tell you without a doubt, Carter Hart is good enough to carry this team to a Stanley Cup this season, right off the bat. Carter Hart's been an impressive starter throughout his career. It's only been 2 years, but it's been a very impressive 2 years. 40, 26, and 4 record, a 2.59 goals against average with a .915 save percentage, one shutout, surprisingly. There's not been more. I think there will be in the future, hopefully. Hart is a future Vezina contender, but I want to see more out of him this year just because Philadelphia is a tough defensive team, and I want to see him compete for the Vezina this season. I think this will be the year, since his contract's going to be expiring, to show Philadelphia, hey, this is what I'm worth. I am a future Vezina winning goalie. I want to get paid. So with that being said, I do think my issue with this is that Brian Elliott, I don't think the Flyers should use him as a backup if they want to be able to get a higher seed. The Flyers were best for shots allowed, third best for scoring chances against, and 7th best for high danger chances against last year. And Elliott still struggled, even though he was on a good team that had a good penalty kill. The team is just all around very good defensively, and to me it's pretty worrying that Elliott still put up those kind of numbers last year on this team. Again, if the Flyers want to get serious about contending for a higher seed, they probably should get a better backup. Nothing against Brian Elliott, but at the end of the day, the difference between a good team and a great team can be goaltending, and while Carter Hart's really good, I do think they should get a guy that could have at least 25, 30 starts a season that can provide good, reliable goaltending, because at the end of the day, if you get somebody that can give you, a 2.7 goals against average and like a 9.15, something like that, save percentage, that'd be huge. And there's no reason they shouldn't, just because this team is so skilled defensively. With that being said, let me know what you think about the Philadelphia Flyers. I know a lot of people seem to think that they either aren't a contender or they are. So I want to know what you think. Leave it down in the comments. Please like and subscribe if you have not subscribed yet. And then either way, like it if you enjoyed the video. Everybody stay safe from COVID. Have a great day. Goodbye, Brigadiers and Brigadettes, and hockey fans in general. This is your captain signing off. Have a great week.